Hey, good morning, friends. It is Clouds and Coffee Monday weather chat here on Rick's Rambles and Reviews YouTube channel. And as you can tell, we had a snow event last night. Not a ton of snow. We got an inch, maybe an inch and a half so far, but snow showers are continuing, and we are under a winter weather advisory for till about 1 o'clock this afternoon. So here in Indianapolis, you probably just saw the dove fly by, and you can see the squirrel at the feeder. Here in Indianapolis, not too bad. It's 31 degrees right now. Kat's here from North Carolina. Kat, good to see you, my friend. Glad you're here with us. But Northern Indiana is a different story. Up in Northern Indiana, they're looking at 8 to 15 inches of snow, depending on where they are in Northern Indiana. That lake effect snow into southern Michigan, coming off of Lake Michigan. So we got pretty fortunate here. We got a good view of the squirrel out there digging through the seeds, and I'm going to see if we can turn the camera around here a little bit. We have a couple of mourning doves on the, I can't quite get it over that far. That's all right. Maybe they'll head back to the feeder. So pretty interesting drive back from Metamora, Indiana last night. It was starting to get a little dicey by the time we got back home. Not like, perilous, but pretty slick. And by about 9 o'clock last night, the roads were starting to really ice up, and we were seeing slide-offs and wrecks every place. Indianapolis was almost shut down, which was odd because we didn't have that much snow. 37 there in North Carolina, that sounds pretty nice, Kat. I would trade that. But isn't that a little cool for you for this time of year? It seems to me that's a little early for you to have that cool a temperature there. Today I'm drinking Folgers Black Silk coffee, which is pretty good. I was going to do a different coffee this morning, and honestly, it just kind of slipped my mind. I got in here into the office area early this morning and got some stuff done, and then before I know it, 9 o'clock was on us. Bindu is here tonight. Good to see you, Bindu. I'm glad you are here. I do Monday morning coffee and clouds weather chat. As you can tell, we have snow here in central Indiana right now, and you can't see it on the screen, I don't think, but it is still falling. They're saying we could get up to another inch. Odd thing is, look at that. The trees are still full of leaves, so that's really weighing them branches down. I would not be incredibly surprised to lose some pretty good branches over this storm here in central Indiana. And Bindu, it's good to see you this morning. I'm curious where you're located. Kat there is in North Carolina. And gosh, we've got a lot of people watching this morning. I thank you all so much for being here. My name's Rick. I'm in Indianapolis, Indiana. I do a couple of lives a week. On Mondays, I go live and do this Clouds and Coffee weather chat. And then on Wednesdays, I do a bird feeder watch. And then I occasionally go and do other lives. I've done some of our music performances live. I've done a few other things. I thought it was a little cool. You'll be back up to 69 by Saturday, and our Saturday high is supposed to be around 60, which is a little warmer than typical for us. Well, happy birthday to you. I am so honored, Bindu, that you chose to come join our live on your birthday. Thank you for being here, and I hope you just have an exceptional day today. I truly am honored that you're here on your birthday, watching the bird feeder, watching the snow. I don't know if I get the camera around far enough, but yeah, car's all covered up. I'm gonna have to melt that off because I've got to go out and run some errands this afternoon. You probably saw the dove light on the bird feeder there, and our one of our resident squirrels. We have a lot of squirrels here in central Indiana and in our neighborhood. Although we live in just outside of Indianapolis, we live in a pretty small and quiet neighborhood, so we have a lot of wildlife in our neighborhood. Our yard actually is a certified wildlife habitat I've got a couple of videos on this channel about how we made that happen. And in our yard, we have seen just all kinds of wildlife, even here in the neighborhood. It's one of the most rewarding projects that we've ever done. I enjoyed doing it so much. One reason we kind of leave the leaves down, because they provide shelter and cover for wildlife in case something like this happens. I do this every Monday morning unless I'm traveling. I know I'll be out for a week in December. We'll be in Florida, and I guess I could do a coffee and clouds from the beach. That might be kind of fun. Probably would not last very long because we've got a lot planned for our 8 days there in Florida. But that would be kind of fun to do a pop-up one from down there. I probably won't schedule it ahead of time. And I do want to invite you to join me Wednesday at 2 p.m. when I do my bird feeder watch live here on the channel. I am kind of amazed at how many people are watching this morning. To each and every one of you, I am honored that you are spending part of your morning with me. I've been interested in weather for my entire life. Oh my gosh, yes, that is, I do know about Pokemon Go, Bindu. I play Pokemon Go. And I'm an old man, but I played a little bit yesterday. We have that problem big time here because they salt the roads from, November through March, usually depending on how our weather is. So rust really is a big deal here with our cars. And it affects the resale value, of course, because of that. So I started playing Pokemon Go, Bindu, a few years ago because a friend of mine had a child that was playing, and his child needed somebody that would send him gifts as part of the game. And I said, okay, I'll sign up. And I don't play every day. It's kind of like geocaching. My wife and I really enjoy geocaching. So I'll play if I'm going to a different town and there's Pokestops that I have not visited yet. I'll play then, but I don't play as much as I used to. Just like we don't geocache as much as we used to. It's a great way to get outdoors. It's a great way to get a little bit of exercise and kind of keeps your brain sharp. If you're interested in the other things I do, I'm a musician. I'm a pastor. I'm a stand-up comedian. I write oh, something scared that squirrel off. Did you see him take off? I write a twice weekly mental health column where you can just look up Rick's Rambles and you'll find me on Instagram and Substack and TikTok and Facebook and all the other places. And I do my best to post kind of unique content on each platform. So wherever people come watch from, they're getting some kind of good value from what I'm doing. I have not played Pokemon Fire Red. That is one that is completely unfamiliar to me. Oh, you can see him. He's bounding across the yard. The neighbors must have done something that scared him a little bit. And I mentioned the leaves still being full of trees. You can see them all falling down, getting weighed down by the snow. So I started to mention that I've been interested in weather ever since I was a kid. I've always been kind of following the weather, and about almost 40 years ago now, I became a ham radio operator, and I loved that. I still love that hobby. I guess it is my favorite hobby. And through that, I became a certified weather spotter, which is fun. We'll go out when the weather's bad and spot for the National Weather Service. My wife also is a ham radio operator. We haven't had to do that much around here lately. Our weather has been relatively calm here in central Indiana. So hope you guys are having a great day. I am so tickled of everybody that's joining in to watch. Of course, this winter storm, it didn't really hit us here in Indianapolis. Most of it is about 100 miles north of us. That's where the big time storm is. But we got just the little tail end of it. And, we got an inch or so of snow, another up to an inch coming later on today. It's actually snowing right now. Um, and it's good to have a little activity because the last few clouds and coffees that I have done, we haven't had much going on. It's just been a pretty calm fall day. How do we heat in central Indiana? Well, we have a mixture of heat pumps, gas forced air gas furnaces, which is what we have here at home. You can probably hear that. Geothermal is a big deal. So our winters can vary wildly, Kat. We'll see temperatures from 20 below sometimes to 50. So it is kind of essential that we have a good heating system. Indiana is an interesting weather state because it can get brutally cold in the winter. Like I said, 20 below is not. It doesn't happen every year, but it's not unheard of. It's not terribly uncommon. We always get days that are 8, 10, 12 degrees below zero. And in the summer, temperatures of 100, 101, 102 degrees are also not uncommon. As I've gotten older, I'm just cold all the time. So July and August are my favorite months because I'm finally comfortable. I'm not cold all the time. I was talking with somebody recently who is about my age, and they said the exact same thing. They said that as they've gotten older, they're just cold all the time. So I always keep a sweatshirt handy and thick socks if I can, and try to stay cold in the wintertime. Let me again say thank you to everybody that's watching this morning. Feel free to join the conversation and hang out with us for a little bit. I'm in Indianapolis, Indiana. I almost said Muncie, Indiana. I'm in Indianapolis, Indiana, which is where I've been for the last, I don't know, 20 plus years or so. I really like this city. Bindu, happy birthday once again to you. I'm glad you came in and hung out for 10 or 15 minutes or so. It's so good to see you. Nice to meet you. Thank you for joining us for Clouds and Coffee this morning here on Rick's Rambles and Reviews on YouTube. Not a lot of activity. I don't know if school is running today because I have not seen any of the kids headed out towards the school bus yet. This is the time of day we often see the neighborhood kids walking through catching the bus. Although it's odd, some days the bus runs at 9:30 in the morning. Some days it runs, at 7:30 in the morning. So it must be on some kind of staggered schedule. It would absolutely shut you guys down, Kat. And I used to live in Missouri. Don't know if you know about that. I used to live in Southwest Missouri, down in the Ozarks, and it's the same thing down there. Cold weather and a half inch of snow would shut those mountains down. None of the towns down there had any kind of snow removal equipment. We only had one big snow the entire time I lived down there. When I say big, probably 6 inches. And the entire city was shut down for the better part of a week. I mean, nobody went anywhere. It was the craziest thing I'd ever seen. And coming there from Indiana, and I was, 18 years old, we were all out building snowmen and just having the time of our lives. And everybody else was was just struggling so bad with that big snowstorm we had down there. I think I've mentioned you. I really love the state of North Carolina. I've spent a significant amount of time in western North Carolina, Maggie Valley, Cherokee, the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. And I've spent some time on the coast. I really like the Outer Banks. I don't know if you've been to the Outer Banks, but that's one of my favorite places. I tend to like beach towns that are not as commercial as some are, that are not filled up with amusement parks and just your typical tourist stuff. And the Outer Banks, at least the last time I was there, was that way. Now granted, it's been 25 years since I've been there, so I'm hoping it's still that way. My wife has never been out there to my knowledge. I think that's right. I would love to get her out there someday because we do both love the ocean. We love ocean life. We love the outdoors. Hiking and nature preserves, riding our bikes. We love things like that. You've never been to the Outer Banks. Well, that's probably, 3 hours from you? I have a good idea of where you live. We've talked about this. I really like it. I like it far, far more than Myrtle Beach. Myrtle Beach was, which of course that's South Carolina, much too commercial for me. Of course, I'm a little bit of a photographer. Some of you know that follow me on Instagram, and I love going places where I can get good wildlife photos. That's one of the reasons I love Anna Maria Island so much, which is where we'll be going in just about 6 weeks, I guess. I'm not looking at the calendar, but I'm guessing about 6 weeks we'll be headed out that way. I'm pretty excited. We've got one of our musician friends joining us, and we're going to play an Irish session at a pub while we're in Florida. So, yay. I think my wife is working in the other room. She's working from home this week. Yay, I love having her home with me. And if she's listening, we should invite Buster to come hear us at the Freckled Fin when we're there. I will forget that by the time this live is over, so help me remember that. You may have heard my amazing wife, Holly, is a very accomplished fiddle player, violinist. She plays some amazing gigs, and we play together, and we play some amazing gigs. We just got back a few weeks ago from Ireland, where she got to perform for an international audience over there, and that was one of the absolutely best experiences of my entire life. I cannot say enough about Ireland. I If you are ever thinking about traveling internationally, I would highly recommend a visit to Ireland. The people, and I've been to Europe. I've been to several places in Europe, and I liked all of them. But man, I'll tell you what, I absolutely, completely fell in love with Ireland. I would live there. I could live there very easily. Snow on the trees, getting a little panoramic view here. We're gonna keep this going for about another half minutes. That'll make us here for 20 minutes. Again, I'm Rick. I'm in Indianapolis, Indiana. I go live every Monday morning at 9 a.m. with a little bit of clouds and coffee, just talking about the weather. This is a great question. When did I first start performing music? At what age? I played my first paying gig in 1974. I would have been 17 at that time. I made $5 and a piece of pie. I remember that vividly. I played for a convention of doll collectors at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. It was a really interesting event. So I've been doing it for 50 plus years. 51 years I've been doing it. That's a long time. That's a lifetime for some people. We have 2 gigs coming up for the rest of the year that will finish out our year. We have a Christmas tree lighting in Metamora, Indiana, which is amazing, which is fantastic. And then we will be up in Muncie at an event called the Enchanted Luminaria. That's up at the Minnetrista Cultural Center in Muncie, Indiana. This is probably our 4th or 5th year doing that one, 3rd or 4th year doing that one. And we sit in an old mansion and play Christmas tunes, and it's so much fun. People come in and sing along, really lots of fun. So yeah, I was 17 years old, barely, I was still wet behind my ears, as they say. Oh my goodness. And I have so many great memories of being on the road and playing music. We don't gig as much as we used to. COVID really changed the music industry. A lot more selective of what I do. And part of it is I'm old and I'm tired and I don't like to drive at night as much as I used to. I used to love to drive overnights. I used to love that. So, I'm over playing those gigs that, where you start playing at 9 p.m. and play to 1 or 2 in the morning. I'm over that. That's just not something that I am interested in doing anymore. So we kind of concentrate on fairs and festivals and things like that, private parties, churches. We play at a lot of churches for different kinds of events. So anyway, well, we've been doing this for 20 minutes. I've had lots of people watching this morning. Folks, every one of you, I want you to know that you are appreciated. We will be back next Monday at 9 a.m. Right now, the weather next Monday at 9 a.m. looks kind of boring. 50 degrees and 50 degrees and mostly cloudy. But we'll be back anyway for a little bit of chat. Please join me Wednesday at 2 p.m. We usually spend about an hour looking at the bird feeder and seeing what's going on. Oh my gosh, there's somebody out on the streets this morning. There we go. Again, thank you for joining. You are absolutely appreciated. You can watch the replay. Kat, we'll see you over on Twitter, I'm sure, sometime later today. I'm Rick in Indianapolis. We'll see you later.